Good evening, guys. Kilimanjaro 808. Tonight we're going to do a review on the Tanaka Works 1897 trench gun. This is a non-firing replica gun. Currently the only one on the market that you can get your hands on. They are expensive. I paid a lot for mine. Try like 700 bucks. Let me fix my camera here for a second. See if we got the right angle. Yeah, there we go. Okay, apologies about that. Yeah, they're the non-firing replicas are the ones you can find. Second to that is, if you can, maybe try to find a cap firing replica of this. That will actually fire something, but it's just a cap fire. It may be illegal in other countries though. And what's even harder to find than those two are the airsoft ones. I haven't seen one for sale in 10 years. 10 years ago they were a little bit easy to come by. Nowadays it's not going to happen. Unless you know somebody who has one, who's willing to sell it. It's just about damn near impossible to get an airsoft 1897 trench gun. And I've seen people convert them from 870s just so they can have a trench gun. Alright, so I got mine from Japan off eBay. This is the box it came in. Came in damaged actually. Stock was off. I don't know if it was from the shipping or from customs. When it went to customs, it actually came in pretty fast, coming in around from halfway around the world. So in the box, it comes wrapped up in this plastic. Here's your instruction manual, all in Japanese. Gives you a nice breakdown of the weapon. This is the version 2, the latest model. I just noticed on the manual it says 2018/10. For those of you who own the version 1 the version 1 trench gun, can you tell me more about that? I thought all the Tanaka trench guns were the same. Just they made some improvements with this version. That's it, that's all they give you. And then they give you 2 shotgun shells, which come in this little baggie, and a little dowel, I guess to help, because it's spring loaded. In case it gets stuck forward, you can use the dowel to push it back. Lock the spring. We'll show you how these work in just a little bit. So mine, yeah, it was just wrapped up in brown paper, which I'm a little disappointed with. The shipping, I thought it'd come like a. Usually I get them in a box like this, and then I have another cardboard box that goes over it. This one I just got it in a cardboard box with a lot of brown paper around it. So I think that's what kind of caused the damage, or couldn't prevent the damage when I got it, because it wasn't wrapped too well. So this is my first shotgun, believe it or not. So if I say something wrong, please correct me. It's mostly comprised of ABS plastic and wood and a few bits of metal. So I'll go over the plastic parts right now. The plastic parts on this shotgun are the body, or receiver, the barrel, it feels like plastic, the magazine tube, that's it I think. The front sight's metal, it's like a 1 or 2 millimeter ball bearing. There's no rear sight on this thing. That's metal. Bayonet lug's metal. Front sling mount's metal, right here. Trigger and trigger guard are metal. Hammer is metal. All the internal pieces, like extractor and all the parts that function inside, of course, are metal. They have to be. Let's see what else. This button right here, I'm not sure what that does. That's metal. Trying to think of what else. Rear sling mount and butt plate. Right here, and the screws, of course, that hold them in place are metal. Plastic parts, wood parts, pump and stock. That's it. And you can darken them to your taste if you like. If you think this wood is a little light, for some of you reenactors out there who want it as authentic looking as possible. And if you really want to go to a major extreme, you could, I guess, repaint the shotgun to like a black I mean, not a black, but like a grayish kind of gunmetal finish, and you'll have really have something that looks correct for the World War I and World War II period trench guns. So this is a non-firing replica again. You can see that they put a block in here, so you can't modify this to be fire anything. Even you can't even convert it to be an airsoft gun. So I thought that was pretty neat. The reason I got it, I want a damn trench gun. That's why I got it. And this is the only thing I could get my hands on, and I paid a lot for it, but I'm overall impressed with the quality of it. I did have to glue the stock back on. I used some Gorilla Glue. Got that sucker on real good. You have to let it sit for 24 hours for it to fully cure. I just had it upside down like this, leaning up against a drawer, so it's all good now. It's holding up, and I love it. I love the feel of having this in my hands, even if it doesn't fire anything. Just to have, you know, a trench gun is really cool. You can. I'm looking at getting a real trench gun one day. So the problem is, you know, I gotta go through that background check and all that, and they started at about $1,400. So I don't really have the kind of money for it right now. I just like something that's hassle-free, where I can just order it online or walk into a store, just buy it and go home with it. 18 years or older, and then that's it, done. Sign a little paper verifying that I paid for it. Mailman drops it off, or postal carrier drops it off. That's it, I'm done. I like it simple and easy. Just like that. Real farms, well, we're gonna have to do background check and wait on, you know, that we can handle later. We got a few of them right here in the safe from my grandfather. But I hardly go to the range, and well, I enjoy replica guns and airsoft guns right now. So, and it's what I can afford right now, especially now that I'm juggling two hobbies. So, anyway, enough about that. The history on the 1897 trench gun, I'll just give it to you short and simple. It was developed in 1897 by John Moses Browning. He's the grandfather of all American firearms. He developed this weapon, the 1911 Browning automatic rifle, M1918, the 1919 A4 and A6 light machine guns, and the M250 cal Ma Deuce. So this was one of his other patents. Yeah, you see, John Browning came up with patents that didn't even have his name on it. Like the 1911, for example. That's his design, but it doesn't have his name on it. This is a Cybergun KWC 1911 A1. John Browning designed this. Of course, the real one I'm talking about. So he designed this in 1897 to come up with a better solution than for, you know, he figured that pump action was better than lever action, because lever action you're doing this all the time and it could throw off your aim. So with pump, you can keep your eyes on the target, pull the trigger, cycle the next round, and you're ready to go. And the great thing about this, it's designed to be slam fired. Like that. You hold down the trigger, you pump it, and then you can cycle the next round just like that. It's almost like being on semi-auto without being semi-auto, if you know what I mean. So, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, it served in the Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II, and I think bits of Korea and Vietnam. Were after Vietnam, I think it was, or during the halfway into the Vietnam War, was replaced with the Stevens shotgun and the Ithaca M37. So it served in the military for a good 60 years. That's a long time service for a shotgun. So in World War I, these were very feared by the Germans. They did not like these because of the slam fire I showed you, and they were just terrible weapons to come up against. They ruled that it was against the Geneva Convention. That was a weapon that, you know, defies the Geneva Convention and whatnot. They hated it as much as, like, for example, the Japanese did not like flamethrowers in World War II. But on the other hand, you know, this would be fair use if the Germans were using flamethrowers against the Americans or the British or whatnot. So, you know, what's the better of two evils? You know what I'm saying? So if they have the right to use flamethrowers, we have the right to use this damn trench gun. So deal with it. No, I'm kidding. That's just my thinking anyway. Lastly, it did see some service in World War II, and I say some service because by the time the Second World War came around, these were mostly used in early war. We had weapons like the Thompson submachine gun, or submachine guns in general, to take care of business up close and personal. This was a far more effective close range weapon than this. This fired a pistol round. It was good up to 60 to 70 yards. You could lay down more firepower with a submachine gun than you could with a shotgun. So this was more towards the mid-war, like 1943. This was more like a rear echelon weapon, so it was used, I guess, in the early stages of the war. So from Pearl Harbor all the way up until like Bougainville in the Pacific and the beginning of the Italian campaign. And we're talking the Mediterranean theater. The only people that really used them were MPs for guard duty, and maybe a handful of U.S. Marines, because U.S. Marines are known to be better trained, but they get older weapons. So this is something they would have had if they didn't have like Thompsons available or whatnot to use. This would be a close range weapon they would be issued. So okay, so to end this video, I'll show you how you load the shell. So basically, you take one shell, you stick it inside the mag tube, stick it inside the mag tube, like that, or you can put one in the breech too. Stick one in the mag tube again. So when you're ready to fire. Oops, that was a double feed. Okay, so you stick one in the tube, in the breech. You close that, and you put one in the mag tube. You're ready to fire. Okay. Now let me show you the slam fire. So again, you gotta pull the trigger first. One inside, one in the mag tube. Hold the trigger, bam. Game over. One shot, you're done. Anyway, that is the Tanaka 1897 trench gun, and to sum up this video, I'll show you some close-ups of the shells. See where it says Tanaka Works? And then the shotgun trades. These are nice. I think that was my dog. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And then right there. So imagine using something like that. Alright gang, thanks for watching. Have a great night. Stay tuned for more videos.